All right, so today we're going to be looking at The Alchemist
Oh, yeah.
by Paulo Coelho.
It's a classic.
It is. It's a book that a lot of people have said is like a guide to, pursuing your dreams and kind of figuring out what your purpose in life is.
Definitely.
And we've got some excerpts from the book that we're going to be looking at today. We're going to try to kind of
Dive in
and unpack some of this wisdom.
Yeah.
And I think we all have these moments in our lives where we feel like there's something more out there.
Yeah.
Like there's a path we're meant to be on.
Absolutely.
Maybe the alchemist can help us figure that out.
It's so interesting you say that because the way Coelho starts this book is with a retelling of the myth of Narcissus.
Oh, yeah.
But it's from a really unique perspective.
Yeah, that prologue really grabbed my attention.
Yeah.
Because he focuses on the lake,
Exactly.
not on Narcissus.
It's like the lake sees its own beauty reflected in Narcissus's eyes, and it weeps for him, not because he's so beautiful, but because it sees itself in him. It's so interesting.
Yeah, and it just sets the stage for the themes of introspection and self-discovery that run throughout the whole book.
Yeah.
It's like Coelho is asking us to look inward and see what we find reflected in our own experiences.
And then we meet Santiago.
Yes.
Who is a shepherd.
He's wandering the fields of Andalusia.
He seems content with his life.
Yeah, he's got his sheep.
But there's this underlying yearning for something more. I think that's something a lot of people can relate to.
Absolutely. That feeling of wanting more out of life.
Yeah.
And that yearning that Santiago has manifests as a recurring dream.
Oh, right.
He keeps seeing himself finding treasure at the Egyptian pyramids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which leads him to this old woman.
Right.
Who interprets dreams.
Yeah, and she tells him to pay attention to omens.
Oh, wow.
To the signs.
Right.
Almost like a language the world speaks to us.
It's like those little synchronicities.
Or, those little signs that we often dismiss as just coincidence?
Totally.
But maybe there's something more to them.
Absolutely.
Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, I think we all have.
Totally.
And Santiago's already tuned into this kind of language.
Okay.
As a shepherd, he's learned to read the land, the weather, the behavior of his sheep.
Right.
He already understands these subtle cues of nature.
So he already has that foundation.
Exactly. He's got a good foundation for understanding this deeper symbolic language.
Right.
Then things get really interesting when he meets Melchizedek.
Right.
This mysterious old man who says he's the king of Salem.
The king of Salem.
Yeah.
Wow.
He introduces this idea of the personal legend.
Oh, love that.
That unique path that each of us is meant to follow.
It's like our purpose, our reason for being.
Exactly, that thing that calls to us.
Yeah.
Our purpose.
I love that.
And he says that the world's greatest lie is believing we lose control of our lives to fate.
Wow. That really resonates with me.
Yeah, it's easy to feel like we're just pawns in a game we don't understand.
Totally, like you're stuck.
Right.
Like things are just happening to you.
Exactly. But what if we actually have more agency than we realize?
Right.
That's the question that the alchemist makes us consider. And Melchizedek gives Santiago 2 stones, Urim and Thummim, to help him make decisions.
Okay.
Like he's reminding Santiago and us to trust our intuition.
So now he's got these tools.
Yeah.
He's off to Tangier.
He's ready for adventure.
Yeah.
And then, bam, he gets robbed.
Oh, no.
What a harsh reality check
about
the challenges we face when we're pursuing our dreams.
It's like a blow to the gut.
Totally. It would be so easy to give up and go home at that point.
Totally.
But he chooses to keep going.
Wow.
He finds work with a crystal merchant.
Okay.
And that's when things start to get really fascinating.
Yeah. What about that crystal merchant? He's an interesting character.
He has this dream of going to Mecca.
Right.
But he's too afraid to actually go.
Oh, wow. He talks about maktub.
Maktub.
This Arabic word that means it is written.
Okay.
And he uses it to explain why he stays put.
But Santiago seems to interpret it differently.
Yeah, exactly. For the merchant, maktub represents his limitations.
Okay.
A predetermined fate.
Right.
But for Santiago, it becomes a source of courage.
Okay.
A reminder that he's on the right path, even when things get tough.
And it's during this time with the merchant that Santiago has this realization that he's been communicating with his sheep in a language without words for years.
Wow, yeah, that's a powerful moment.
Right.
It goes back to that idea of omens, that there's this other level of communication happening all around us.
If we can just learn to tune into it.
If we can just learn to listen.
It's like Santiago is tapping into a deeper awareness.
Absolutely.
A way of sensing the interconnectedness of everything.
That's beautifully said.
And it gives him the push to take another leap of faith.
Yeah.
He joins a caravan crossing the Sahara Desert.
Wow. He's really committing.
He's all in at this point. No turning back.
Even though he has no idea where he's going.
That's the beauty of it,
Yeah.
trusting the journey.
It's exciting.
It is.
So now he's on this caravan heading into the Sahara Desert.
Right into the vast Sahara.
And he meets this Englishman who's like completely obsessed with alchemy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that ancient art of transformation?
I love that part.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
Like the perfect pairing.
Oh, how so?
You've got the Englishman who's all about the intellectual pursuit of knowledge.
Yeah.
And then you've got Santiago who's living out this more intuitive, experiential journey.
He's learning by doing.
He's learning by doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And their conversations bring up some really interesting parallels between alchemy and the search for one's personal legend.
Right, because in a way, they're both about transformation.
Yes, exactly.
Turning something ordinary into something extraordinary.
They talk about the soul of the world.
Oh, yeah.
This idea that everything in the universe is interconnected and there's this like life force flowing through it all.
Like we're all connected.
Yeah. Have you ever felt that? Like when you're out in nature
Yeah.
and you just sense this harmony?
Absolutely. Like everything is in sync.
Yes.
It's a beautiful feeling.
It is.
And it's at the heart of alchemy, too, this interconnectedness.
So it's not just about, transforming lead into gold.
Right. It's about personal transformation, too.
Yeah. Could finding our personal legend be a part of that transformation?
Absolutely. It's about refining ourselves, chipping away at those layers that are obscuring our true nature.
Like we have to go through the fire.
Exactly like Santiago, we might have to face some challenges.
Right.
Some metaphorical fires to reach that transformation.
And speaking of challenges.
Oh, boy.
They arrive at this oasis.
This beautiful oasis.
And Santiago meets Fatima.
Fatima.
And it's love at first sight.
Instant connection. It's like a reminder that the journey to our personal legend isn't just about, achieving some grand goal. It's also about experiencing life.
Right.
The joy of love, the human connection.
But then he has this vision of an attack on the oasis. And that's how he meets the alchemist.
Oh, wow. So this vision leads him to his destiny.
It's like the universe is guiding him.
Right, but he has to be open to it.
He has to be receptive to those signs.
Exactly.
So he meets the alchemist, this wise, enigmatic figure.
Yeah.
Who challenges Santiago.
Pushes him to his limits.
Really pushes him.
Yeah.
And teaches him some powerful lessons in the desert.
What kind of lessons?
About listening to your heart, trusting the journey, and just being present.
Being in the moment.
In the moment.
Yeah.
It's about trusting that inner wisdom.
That intuition.
And that the journey has value.
And the obstacles are all part of the process.
And then they get captured by these tribesmen.
Oh, no.
Who demand that the alchemist prove his power.
Oh, wow.
It's like a real test of faith.
Right.
And courage.
Like, are you going to trust?
Are you going to trust in this moment?
In this higher power, this force that's guiding you.
And then the alchemist tells Santiago that he has to turn himself into the wind.
Whoa, wait, what?
I know.
How is that even possible?
It's one of the most memorable scenes in the book.
Yeah, imagine that.
Like facing death and having to harness the power of your will.
And your connection to the soul of the world.
To become the wind.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's a powerful metaphor, isn't it?
It is. It's about overcoming the impossible.
Yeah.
Tapping into that limitless potential within us.
It's a beautiful scene.
So they escape.
Yeah.
And continue on to the pyramids.
Okay.
And the alchemist keeps emphasizing that the real journey is about self-discovery.
It's about who you become along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he tells Santiago this story about a Roman centurion.
Okay.
Whose words echoed through time.
Interesting.
Even though the centurion had no idea about the impact he was making.
It's like we're all part of something bigger.
Right? Our actions have ripple effects.
Yeah. We may never fully understand.
It's humbling.
It is?
Finally, Santiago reaches the pyramids.
He made it.
The culmination of his journey.
Right.
He's ready to find that treasure he's been dreaming of.
All this time.
But it's not where he expects it to be.
But what do you mean?
This is where Coelho throws us a curveball.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Santiago digs and digs, but he finds nothing.
Oh, no.
He's heartbroken.
Yeah.
Confused.
He must feel defeated.
Ready to give up. But then a group of refugees come along.
Okay.
See him digging.
Yeah.
And they assume he's searching for buried treasure.
Oh, they think he's found something.
And they beat him up and steal his money.
Whoa. What? That's terrible.
I know.
So close yet so far.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
While he's being beaten,
Mm-hmm.
Santiago starts to laugh.
He starts to laugh. Why?
Because he remembers
Oh, he remembers what?
that the treasure isn't at the pyramids at all.
Oh. Okay, where is it then?
It's back in Spain, where his journey began.
Wait, so the treasure was in Spain the whole time?
The whole time. Hold on. So he went all the way to the pyramids,
Yeah.
and the treasure was back in Spain.
It was never really about the destination.
Right.
The treasure was the journey itself.
So the real treasure wasn't like actual gold or jewels?
Nope. The real treasure was Santiago's transformation.
The wisdom he gained along the way.
Exactly. The experiences he had, the people he met.
So it was inside him all along.
In a way, yes.
He just had to go through all of that
All those trials and tribulations.
to realize it.
It's like those treasures we often find within ourselves are the most valuable ones.
The things we chase after thinking happiness is out there somewhere.
Yeah, but maybe it's about appreciating the present moment.
The journey, not just the destination.
Exactly. That's the heart of The Alchemist.
Listening to your heart, following your intuition.
Trusting the process.
It's more than just a saying in this book.
It's woven into the story itself.
And what about Santiago and Fatima?
Oh yeah, he goes back to the oasis.
He chooses love.
He realizes she's a treasure too.
More valuable than any gold.
And the alchemist reminds him, wherever your heart is, that is where you'll find your treasure.
It's a beautiful ending.
It is.
He finds love. He finds his purpose.
And he realizes that true wealth isn't about material things.
So after diving into The Alchemist,
Yeah.
what do you think our listeners should take away from all this?
You know, I think it all comes down to listening to your heart.
Okay.
What are those things that make you feel alive, that spark joy in your soul?
Yeah, like what are those whispers?
Exactly. Maybe it's something creative, a connection with nature.
A desire to help others.
Whatever it is, pay attention to it.
And don't be afraid to take that leap of faith.
Right. We might not all have a treasure map like Santiago.
But we all have our own path to follow,
Trust that the universe has a plan.
even if we don't always understand it,
The challenges, the detours, they're all part of the process.
of becoming who we're meant to be. So, to our listener out there, what if the greatest adventures aren't about finding a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow?
But about uncovering the gold within yourself.
What if the real treasure is the courage to follow your own path, the love that guides you, and the wisdom you gain every step of the way?
Keep listening to your heart, and who knows what treasures you might find.
That's it for our deep dive into The Alchemist.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you